I mean, a lot of the studios that we were going to would just be the engineer pressing play and just letting you record.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I have a very special, very fun guest. His name is Barry. He started his career as a chef and moved to LA for becoming an artist, a music artist. And things changed, and he pivoted to start doing a recording studio and have great success. So Barry, we're so excited to have you here. Could you share with us, who you are and how did you get started in this recording business?
Sure. So, first of all, thanks for having me today. Really appreciate it. Started out in college. Me and my friend Adam Fishman were recording and producing a lot of music outside of our dorm at the time. It got really busy over there. And then when I moved into the apartments, the studio continued over there with another friend of mine, Zach Ben Levy. And I didn't finish school over there. I moved to LA as an artist. I was interning at a lot of different studios around LA. Wasn't really liking the way the studios were treating the artists or what the price point was for the quality that artists were getting in return. And I met my business partner, Yoni. He goes by Yoni Green Tea. He actually came up with the name Green Tea Studios. I met him at a baseball game, and he had a small studio out of his apartment, or his dad's office rather, on Pico, right across the street from my first apartment when I moved here. And we were working a lot together, just musically, and I was meeting other people at other studios, and they were asking me about this room I was recording at. So I started booking Yoni a little bit. And yeah, the more it just kind of snowballed into us being a recording studio. We found a better space than the office, and we moved it to Cotner Avenue. And yeah, that's how it
So
all started.
what was the I would say, like, what was the difference in the green tea studio concept versus other studio that you experienced?
Sure. Well, I mean, a lot of the studios that we were going to would just be the engineer pressing play and just letting you record, not really giving you advice on what you could be doing better or giving any input. Not that that's always necessary. Um, sometimes the artists don't necessarily want that, right? But um, more so like just people are, we want our engineers to be very attentive and care about their sessions. Whereas like you could go to another studio and the engineer isn't really paying so much attention. We really have a strong focus on customer service as well. Start to finish, there's communication from the second you book your session to the end of it. We're very communicative with you, and we want you everything in between. We want you to have a good experience. We also want the price point to be fair. That was something we really focused on when we opened the studio, is that we came in pretty competitively. A lot of studios were charging over $100. We're still not charging that. And yeah, I mean, we just want people to leave with a quality song. Not, we don't ever call it a product. We want people leaving with quality art, quality music. We want people to know that that's what we prioritize above all things. And yeah, for people to come in and feel comfortable with the engineers and be able to work in a good workflow creatively.
So when you were working with your partner in this thing, like when you first started getting the space, how did you get your calendar with bookings? Like, how did you find your customers quickly?
Sure. So it wasn't so quickly, actually. It took quite a while till we were like very booked. Um, thank God at the beginning, like we already knew a few people that wanted to record. And we made it very affordable back then. Like it was a lot lower than what we're at now. But it was just about getting people through the door, getting the cash flow in. There was a lot of ways. I mean, I was going to a lot of events, probably in 3 events a week to meet people, trying to spread word of mouth. Again, at the beginning, it was just me and Yoni, like really just me and Yoni. I was doing a lot of Instagram outreach. I was reaching out to people, as opposed to now. We're getting a good amount of followers on a daily basis, so it's not me having to run after or look up artists in the area. At the beginning, it was very tough, but I think working this hard to get to the other side of that challenge is the most rewarding part of it. Is now we're not really necessarily like doing as much outreach as we are getting people inquiring how to book with us.
So what was the transition there, and what was the method that you really, like go hard on focusing on, besides just being out there networking and trying to book everybody? Yeah.
Sure. Well, first of all, we got a website, and so that definitely helped. Um, but secondly, I just think after being very consistent with our branding, very consistent with like what the message was of the company, as well as consistent with Green Tea Radio. It's a show we do every Wednesday night. We started getting more and more followers. We started getting more, I wouldn't even say followers, like or fans. It was like a Green Tea family started to expand a little bit, and a lot of people just started booking based off of our energy. Like the room we had from 2018 till just a few months ago was on Cotner Avenue. That was one of our rooms, and I wouldn't say it was like the most flattering situation, but it was a good recording studio. A lot of great records were made in there, but people really just fed off of Yoni's energy and the other engineers' energy that we were booking. And yeah, that built a really strong book of business for us. We have a lot of clients and artists that come back regularly, and filling out the calendar for us was more so trying to focus on, let's say, like 20 or 30 people that were already just coming in regularly, and then having some random sessions in between all of that. So like the method really never changed in terms of us like being more booked. We're still we're probably even more consistent with our social media now than we were then, because there wasn't as much content being made then. But I'd say it's just being consistent got us to this point. I don't think there's really any outlier other than that was like the sudden increase in business. It was us being consistent, and that's really it.
Mm. Has there any point in the business that the green tea studio came like close to zero? It was struggling. So what happened?
At the beginning of COVID, I think 2020, March, we closed like every other business in the country. We closed from March till the beginning of June. Um, I won't say we're at our last pennies, but we had maybe 1 or 2 months left in the tank to keep going with the money that we had saved. Um, we were talking about closing, or we were talking about opening prematurely and just doing the plexiglass situation like online, and showing that we were open, but we were being cautious. We had 2 rooms in the building, so it was, you walked in and it was a recording, and then there was glass. So most of the sessions, Yoni and the artist would be in separate rooms, so they wouldn't go into the room to hear how he was mixing it for the first couple months. But when we reopened, actually, we were one of the first studios to reopen. So we got super booked super quickly. And that was a big moment for us. We went from almost being done to like, we opened another room very quickly after that. We opened in Burbank, that I want to say September or December. I don't remember the exact date, but of 2020. And yeah, we had to open another one. We were so booked. So I think that was a timing thing, though. I don't necessarily think that was like our marketing efforts. There was literally no other studios that were open, which might have been, I, I think God sent that for us personally. But yeah, it worked. It worked
Wow.
out. Yeah,
What was the average booking you were getting to open a second one weekly?
we were booked almost 2.5, 3 weeks in advance at that point, and we were never doing that before. So it was always like a week, maybe 8 days booked in advance. But then almost all of that first month we reopened, we were so booked. We were turning people down. And we actually met a great engineer, great person. He's been with us since then. Um, His name is Harry. He goes by Hustler. He's a really great engineer, great producer as well. He approached us and was like, I really love what you guys are doing. He saw it very early too, which is like a very keen eye on his end. But he approached us and like, I want to start recording, my clients by you guys and you guys booking me. So we booked him a few sessions at the one we were at during COVID. And then he found a spot in Burbank and he was like, guys, I think we should move over there. We're very booked. And we looked into it and it worked. At that time, it worked. We're not in Burbank anymore, actually, but both studios are in Santa Monica in this building now. But yeah, that we just had a necessity. We weren't able to catch all the fish with the net that we had. So
How fast do you grow in terms of like company wide? Did you hire, additional team member, and how many do you have now?
um, so at the peak of that moment, we just had me, Yoni, and Harry Hustler. Um, we just had us three, and I was just booking two studios, so it wasn't so challenging. And then we opened another studio in Studio City. We had an opportunity with another studio that wanted to collaborate with us. We're not there anymore either. We decided to. I could talk about that a little later, but we were in Studio City, Studio City, Westwood, and Burbank at that time. We had three engineers out of Studio City. We had one in Burbank, and we had one in Westwood, which is Yoni. And yeah, I mean, it was still just me doing the booking and marketing at that time. Fast forward to 2021. I believe I want to say either again September or October, maybe even August. We met Annabelle Klein from That Good Shit. Really dope brand. She's a curator. She's the queen of TikTok. Amazing person. Nothing but good things to say about Annabelle. We met her in 2021. And she helped us with Green Tea Radio at the beginning initially. And then she was one of the like secondary members that we finally hired. Um, we finally hired her, and she's doing our marketing on TikTok. Helps us make all of our reels. Our content is much better than what it was before because of her. She was really the first person we've ever put on full payroll. Most of the engineers are just general contractors, people that we trust with the brand and have the same vision as us, but it's based on hourly. So really just depends how often we're getting them booked, which right now is very good. But yeah, Annabelle is a team member. Kevin Finn is a team member. He's been helping us like along the journey as well. Just like general advice and ideas for the brand. And then of course we have a CFO. His name is Isaiah Paul. He's done an amazing job making sure the books are handled at all times. Just general financial advice about how we've been going about this and building out the business from the banking perspective of it all. Yeah, it's a really strong team. I mean, we're all in it for the long haul. We really think there's a good company on our hands, thank God. And yeah, that's where we're at with it now.
How many clients did you get from TikTok alone? Like running ad in TikTok?
We don't run ads. We just
Oh,
have
just posting, right? Like branding,
yeah,
social. Okay, okay.
yeah, but we've gotten a good amount of clientele and artists coming in from that. They also like a lot of people attend our shows from TikTok as well. So that's been really big for us too.
What is this what show is this?
It's called Sunday Sounds. We do it with Annabelle from That Good Shit. We've done six of them. They're outdoor on Sundays, and they're super fun. We usually have 8 to 9 performers come and a DJ. Usually it's fairly affordable to come in, and we do drinks. It's really fun. It's a great day,
Oh,
great
that's
music.
cool, man. It's like a
Yeah, it's
community social gathering.
Mhm.
That's very cool. You're very like community. I would say community based. Everything is about community, people in the local area, and they reach out to you. You provide events and get together where they can come perform and learn about your business. Pretty much. That's really unique, man. On your new location in is like Burbank. That's your own studio, right?
No, no. So right now we're located in Santa Monica only.
Oh, okay. Santa Monica only.
Yeah, we stopped the Burbank one. We moved it to the upstairs room that we have. We have two
Uh,
rooms in the building. The building we're in, there are a few other studios in here. They're mostly for like people that are in the movie industry or like the television industry. They're just mixing a lot of records in here. It's not really so much recording. But our guy Troy, he's the owner of the building. He used to be our studio manager from the last building we were in, and he saved a spot for us over here because of delays with COVID. He gave us the room upstairs instead of the one down here in the meantime while they worked on this. That room upstairs got so booked that we said to him, can we just keep both rooms? And that's what we did. So now we have 2 rooms in this building. That was the main reason why we stopped Burbank, because we wanted to be able to absorb more artists here. There's not a lot of competition on the west side of LA, and we just saw the market, and it worked. So yeah.
So what is the vision now for the green tea studio?
It's a great question. There's a lot, man. It's pretty hard to even grasp where we think we're heading with it. Um, First step right now is to make sure that these rooms are fully booked as far in advance as possible. We've had people reach out to us about potential franchise options. We know we were talking to someone in Chicago about franchising over there. I think, opening studios in different cities is definitely going to be something we look into. I think spreading west to the East Coast is going to be an approach we take. Don't want to give away too much of that, but like overall vision is eventually to open an indie label and help artists as much as we can, to a even further extent than we are now.
What is the top 3 advice that you can give to I would say individuals who are in the recording studio or just starting out business? Like what would be the top 3 advice you can give them?
For sure. Well, for any business, the number one piece of advice is to be consistent. You know, first of all, map out your strategy and your idea and what the actual concept of the business is, and then from there, create whatever it is you need to create and be consistent with that, like unapologetically consistent, like very, very much every day. Try to live out what the message of your brand is. So it has nothing to do with the recording. But secondly, another piece of advice I would say is to really be open to the idea of rethinking what the message and overall idea is. A question you asked me throughout this interview was, what's the difference between now and then? And like, the only difference between now and then is the way we're thinking. And we've realized as the brand has expanded that we need to be able to readjust to certain things and think differently and realign what the message of the brand is. The message is still the same, but I'd say being open-minded to new ways of thinking is super important. That would be the second thing. And the third thing is to have fun. If you're not having fun with what you're doing, then why are you doing it? Like, we're only going to live one time. If you're doing a business because your parents or the community you come from is pressuring you to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, unless you really want to do that, you're not going to be successful in it anyways. So like, if you're starting a business and you're doing it for the wrong reasons, don't do it at all. Like, straight up, find something you enjoy and do that, because you're setting yourself up for failure if it's something you don't like.
Thank you for that. Let's just say, how can somebody reach out to you, and if they wanted to kind of learn more, if they have any questions, how can they get in touch with you?
Or they could reach out to us via Instagram. It's at Green Tea Studios LA. You could email us at greenteastudiosla@gmail.com, or you can call or text me. I'm not going to give out my number on the podcast, but you could catch it on the Instagram.
All right. Thank you, Barry. Thank you for sharing your success and the wisdom that you have done the past few years. And thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.